Welcome back to Music in the Middle, everybody, and also welcome back to Geek Week. I wanted to do, as I always do every year, a specific score for Geek Week as well, because music is a huge part of geek fandom. And I wanted to do one that I have been waiting to talk about for a really long time. Today, our score in the middle is The Art of Death from The Walking Dead. All right, so I won't get on my soapbox about The Walking Dead as a show as a whole this time, because that's coming. But today, we are just talking about the score and honestly, just the scene overall. Now, if you haven't seen Season 9, Episode 15, I think it is, because it is the second to last episode, even though it does feel like the finale episode, you are in for it. Now, in order to talk about the score, I have to set up the scene just a little bit. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I am going to have to talk about a little bit of generally what happens in the scene. Basically, all the communities that are, in The Walking Dead, they've kind of separated, and they're coming back together in this festival, this joyous occasion where they're all going to come together and sign this contract to be like, we're all going to be together again, yay. Meanwhile, Alpha, one of the Whisperers, the main Whisperer, if you know anything about that, has been doing a little side project of her own, killing 10 of the characters. 10. And if you know anything about the Walking Dead comics, they do the Pike scene. And holy shit. Guys, this is what I'm saying. I'm not going to get on the soapbox, but this is what I'm saying in terms of it's not always a great show in the second half, but it still pulls out stuff that I just rewatched the scene and it still, years later, gives me chills. It is one of the best, paced scenes I have ever seen in a show. Okay, but I'm here to talk about the music. So once again, the score is called The Art of Death, which, that's quite a title. And it is scored by Bear McCreary, who does the rest of the Walking Dead scores, including the main theme. And this is one beautiful score. So at the beginning, it starts off with sort of like this white noise, almost like wind, with a little bit of violin underneath just to give you a hint of what's coming. But it is mostly the white noise, which is awesome because it goes along really well with the scene, which is taking place outside, and it's very windy, and you can see that in the scene. And so I think that's a good kind of ambient start to it because it feels very hollow and quiet, but also very ominous. And then we get a sort of crescendo of the violin. It really starts to come into play now, and it does this, going up with all these notes. I don't know music terms, and it's just something's coming, and it's so ominous and so creepy. But then comes basically the main part of the score and of the scene, is seeing who is on the pikes. The pikes basically being 10 sticks with heads on them. And every single time you see a shot of somebody on the pike, they just go down the line, and every time we see the new one, it is literally a cut to their head, and it is in just the center, it's full frame. And every time that happens, the music has this big drum beat, as if it's just like a punch to the gut. But here's the best part, is in the show, when I watched it the first time, obviously I didn't notice because I was too busy freaking out. After a while, I noticed that every time it shows it, there's the drum beat, but the music is leveled down, so it feels like it's even more of like a pounding on your ears. And I thought that was just leveled for the show. That's actually in the score. Listen. So it does that for each person, and it's just gut-wrenching. Every time it's just boom. But listening back again, really listening to the score itself without the scene over top, there's actually a couple other things in here that I almost missed. They're really small, but one of the other things that makes this score so good And that much creepier is that they actually have in the score, again, aside from the episode, they have in the score very low in the background, like people laughing and talking and kids laughing and basically everything that's going on at the fair that they're at over in the other part of the episode. Because obviously this is cut in between those two things, and it makes it just that more heart-wrenching, because you'll see somebody who is like kind of associated, you know, in your mind with another character. You'll see them without that character, and you're like, oh shit, it's that character who died. And so they're cutting back and forth, and having all of that laughter and cheeriness underneath this like huge just fall of all these characters was, oh, again, it gives me chills. Like, I don't think there's an official term for, like, audio irony, but that's it. There's also, later on, just after all the laughter, you hear this little bit of, like, radio sound. And it almost makes me think, because there was really no radios in that scene, but it almost makes me think of, like, just the pacing, you know, almost like telling a story of, like, everybody's laughing, but these things are going on, and then suddenly you get the radio, and it's indistinguishable what they're saying on the radio, but it's almost like this, in the score, they're starting to realize something's going on, something is wrong here. I don't know, that's just what I think, but it's still really cool. And then the violin, from this really repetitive drum beat going back into the regular violin, it breaks into this last little couple of notes, and it's just super sad. It's just absolutely, they're absolutely defeated. It's so sad. Right on the tail end, one more last thing that I didn't realize, but obviously in the show you have the walker heads, everybody who's dead, making those sounds. In the score, they have that underneath as well. This entire thing, if you listen to it like with earbuds and you can really hear all the sounds, it really tells like the whole story. And it's really chilling. Guys, my goal, my dream is to make a show or a movie where I could have a scene like this that's that powerful, that the characters are so set up and so loved that not only is what happens just that much more heart-wrenching and powerful, but the way it's done is so artfully done. The art of death and the art of a good scene. Again, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just saying. Some good stuff. Well, there you have it. Go take a listen to The Art of Death. I know it will cheer up your day if you're having a really bad day. This is absolutely one of my favorite scores from the show. It might actually be even the best score besides the main theme. And as always, keep your hopes high, your stress low, and music right in the middle. I'll see you guys later.